Imagine waking up each morning with a deep, steady sense of purpose. Not the frantic, half-awake scramble to silence your alarm, not the guilty rush to make up for lost time, but a calm, rooted beginning that nourishes your entire day. It's not just possible, it's natural. You were designed for it. But somewhere along the way, mornings became a battlefield. They became a series of alarms, checklists, and quiet panic. Wake up, check your phone, rush to shower, gulp down something resembling breakfast, fight through traffic, or rush to your desk, all while the back of your mind whispers, "You're already behind." It's an exhausting way to start a life that's meant to be lived fully. We don't even question it anymore. We just accept that mornings are supposed to be stressful, chaotic, and burdened with guilt if we don't move fast enough. But that's not nature's design. That's a modern invention, one we can unlearn. I know, because I lived trapped inside that rushed, guilty cycle for years. I woke up each day already feeling like I was losing a race I never signed up for. My body moved, but my heart lagged behind. My mind raced, but my soul felt numb. I mistook movement for momentum. I mistook busyness for meaning. And worst of all, I believed there was no other way. Until the day I realized that how I start my morning isn't just a small part of my life. It's the foundation of everything. Changing your mornings changes your life. But it doesn't start with forcing yourself into a rigid 5 a.m. miracle routine or copying someone else's perfect day. It starts with something more powerful, listening to your life, listening to your real needs, and building a morning formula that honors both your humanity and your dreams. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. But there is a formula, a set of principles that, when honored, can turn your mornings from a war zone into sacred ground. A formula built not on shame or hustle, but on alignment and trust. The first step in this formula is reclaiming your mornings as yours again. Not your employer's, not your inboxes, not your endless to-do lists. Yours. That simple mental shift. This is my time. Changes everything. It doesn't matter if you have 10 minutes or 2 hours. It doesn't matter if you wake before the sun or after it. What matters is how you show up to yourself in those first precious moments of the day. Start by asking one question when you open your eyes. How do I want to feel today? Not what do I have to do, or what did I forget, or how am I already failing? But simply, gently, how do I want to feel? Connected, calm, energized, grateful? Let that feeling, not the tasks, guide your next steps. Because here's the secret. Action born from alignment is infinitely more powerful than action born from panic. I started small. Instead of grabbing my phone the moment I woke up, I placed it across the room and spent my first minute breathing deeply, stretching slowly, letting my body catch up to consciousness. No agenda, no rush. That 1 minute grew into 5 minutes of gratitude journaling. 5 minutes turned into 10 minutes of gentle movement or stillness, depending on what I needed. Some mornings I sipped tea watching the sunrise. Some mornings I walked barefoot through my backyard just to feel alive. None of it was complicated. None of it was perfect. And that's why it worked. The second pillar of the formula is releasing the guilt. Guilt poisons your mornings before they even begin. Guilt for not waking earlier. Guilt for not being instantly productive. Guilt for not following the strict morning success formulas you see splashed across social media. Let it go. Your worth is not measured by how early you rise or how many boxes you check before breakfast. Your worth is intrinsic, unchangeable, infinite. The morning is not a test you can pass or fail. It's an invitation, a doorway, a sacred beginning. Some days, you will have radiant, Instagram-worthy mornings. Other days, you'll barely make it out of bed without collapsing into a puddle of tiredness. Both are valid. Both are human. Both are part of your real, beautiful life. There's no need to hustle your way into worthiness before 9 a.m. Your mornings are not a productivity contest. They are the soil in which the rest of your day will grow. Tend to them with care, not cruelty. The third and final pillar of the formula is creating a morning anchor, one simple, non-negotiable practice that connects you to yourself before the noise of the world rushes in. It doesn't have to be elaborate. In fact, the simpler, the better. For some, it's a handwritten note of gratitude. For others, a slow cup of coffee sipped with attention, not distraction. A short walk, a few pages of reading, a favorite song played while watching the light change outside. Whatever it is, it should be something you want to do, not something you feel you should do. Something that reminds you, I am alive, I am here, I matter. This anchor grounds you. Even if the rest of your day spirals into chaos, missed deadlines, traffic jams, unexpected news, you will have already rooted yourself in something real. And that small act changes everything. Because a morning with purpose isn't a luxury, it's a revolution. It's a quiet rebellion against a world that tells you to rush, to hustle, to never be enough. It's a choice to start your day, and therefore your life, with presence, with intention, and with love. Changing your mornings doesn't mean changing who you are. It means returning to who you've always been, before the noise, before the pressure, before the world told you that rushing and guilt were the only ways to live. As I slowly wove this new formula into my life, reclaiming my mornings, releasing guilt, anchoring myself in small, sacred practices, something astonishing began to happen. I found time I didn't know I had. I found energy I thought I had lost forever. I found myself becoming more patient, more focused, more resilient, not because I was doing more, but because I was being more. It wasn't magic, it was alignment. It was the natural outcome of starting each day from a place of centeredness instead of chaos. And the ripple effects were undeniable. Relationships improved because I was more present, more grounded, more able to listen without rushing to react. Work became more meaningful because I was operating from a place of internal clarity rather than external pressure. Even my physical health changed. Better digestion, deeper sleep, fewer migraines. Simply because my nervous system was no longer starting every day in fight or flight mode. All because of a few simple, imperfect, real moments each morning. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. You will have days when you fall back into old patterns. Days when you oversleep, when you check your phone first thing, when the morning gets swallowed by noise before you can even catch your breath. That's okay. A purposeful morning is not a rigid prison. It's a living, breathing relationship with yourself. And like any relationship, it thrives on compassion more than perfection. When you stumble, you don't start over from zero. You simply pick up where you left off. One breath, one moment, one morning at a time. And little by little, you build a life where mornings are no longer something to survive, but something to savor. A life where you greet each sunrise not with dread, but with quiet gratitude. A life where you measure your worth not by how early you rise or how much you accomplish, but by how deeply you live. Imagine waking up tomorrow not because an alarm screamed at you, but because your body, your spirit were ready to rise. Imagine your first thought being not, "What did I forget?" but "How do I want to feel today?" Imagine stepping into your morning, whether it's filled with tasks or stillness, carrying a quiet power that no amount of chaos can touch. That's the life waiting for you. It doesn't require waking up at 5 a.m. or becoming a different person. It requires remembering who you are. It requires choosing, gently, courageously, to start your day with presence instead of panic, with intention instead of inertia, with love instead of fear. The formula is simple. Reclaim your mornings as sacred. Release the guilt that tries to poison them. Anchor yourself in one true thing. And repeat, not perfectly, but persistently. Because in a world that demands speed, choosing slowness is revolutionary. In a world that demands performance, choosing presence is healing. In a world that demands guilt, choosing grace is radical. Your mornings are not small, they are the soil of your life. Tend to them with love and watch everything bloom. It won't be immediate, it won't be flawless, but it will be real. And real is what you were made for. If this resonates with you, I would love to hear, what small shift will you choose for your morning tomorrow? Drop a comment below, subscribe for more insights, and join a community of souls committed to living with more intention and joy. Your next morning could be the beginning of everything you've been searching for. It all starts now.